Hello and welcome to Wren's Wasteland Camp Reviews / Dumpster Fires of the Commonwealth. Today we're gonna try and find at least 3 more camps that are not total shit shows. The one behind me is my floating camp, which is floating in 2 ways. It looks like it's floating on the water, but it's actually made from one foundation with a ladder going up. I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about. See, underwater here I placed some foundations, hid the ladder underwater, and built everything right as close to the water line as humanly possible as I can get it, so that
This
you get the effect that it
lens,
looks like it's actually
idea
floating
of
in the water.
liberty leaf
Kind
only.
of cool,
2.
kind of a pain in the ass, took a
Imperialism.
long
See
time to
through the
do.
lies,
If you have any
comrade.
questions about it, feel
Fight
free to shoot me
for
them
the
and I will
party.
try and get you an answer if it's something I can help with. Now let's see if we can find, like I said, 3 camps to go check out. We're going to use the world activity map because it's the easiest way to find people, because they already have their vendors out. We'll go for Colombo Gaming. Well, we would if I hadn't been overweight. Oh, dang it. Here we go again with the I eat too much. Anyway, let's go check that one out. What was it? Colombo Gaming? Yeah. He's been on here for 55 minutes, so he's probably getting ready to log off. Most people that play this game average between an hour to 2 hours max, and that's usually dependent upon how many of their dailies and weeklies they have to complete. For the scoreboards events, alright, so let's find this little place. It's right behind us. Oh, or we have a nice view of Seneca Rock. Up there you can see the Thunderbird, as my friend likes to call it, stuck up on Seneca Rock. It's actually the precursor model to what they were going to do for the Scorchbeast Queen, if I remember correctly. Hopefully they'll bring it back in as something else, because they do have one impaled here, obviously. And a good story would be to tell, how it got there. This place has a small farm. It's right on the water line. He's built it mainly out of the farming
Wait,
tile
this
set.
time it's, well,
And
nothing.
overall, not too bad. Not too good either. It's got a lot of stuff in it. He's put most of his stuff on the interior. He's got some decorations. He's got some beds. He's got floors that you can see through and poop through if you have to. Yes, I said that out loud. He has couches. He has a load of weapons set up here because this place does get attacked frequently, I'm sure. Because things just kind of walk across the road here. Because again, we are right next to Seneca Rock. You have bandits and raiders crossing over. Across the way, you have the sludge hole, which has giant toads. I wish they had turtles in this game. That would be awesome. You have the train rail behind him, which is things start on one side or the other and kind of meet in the middle. He is at that unique location where he can get it from both ends. Haha. Anyway, but yeah, not a bad little camp on a scale of 1 to 10. I mean, he built it. It's all his. I'm going to give it a 4 because although it's not a bad little camp, it's not particularly good either. The interior leaves much to be desired as far as design choices go, but that's a me thing, not a him thing. He has his ladder here that he has so that he can get up onto the rail line relatively easy without an issue. And I mean, it also works good as a setup for a trap camp, to be honest. I mean, you can kind of tell that that's sort of what this place could be used for if you really wanted to, because you could just hide out there on the roof and watch people over here and, do your little thing. Anyway, nice camp, not great. Let's wave goodbye to it. And we'll go ahead and head out of here. And let's see, what's the next camp we're going to go to? We'll go to one Wastelander Plus's camp. Costs 1 camp, one cap to get there, and I can't get there. Okay, I don't see it. It says it's one cap. It should be right around here. Right over there. That's where it is. We will go ahead and, I guess, hot-footed in that direction and see what we find out. This character is my character, Harley, by the way. She's a bloodied build, which means like she does a lot of damage. Can't take much. Trying to get her armor sorted out because I'm using the Brotherhood of Steel Recon armor as her armor. It is taking me a while to roll up the necessary pieces in the form factor that I want, meaning unyielding. Because, you know, if you're playing a bloody character, you might as well go all out and use unyielding. Right now, she has 2 unyielding pieces and 1 chameleon piece of that set. Now, this camp should be right here, according to this. And maybe it is. Yep, there it is. Alright. So, as you can see, this is the Halloween tile set for building. He has built mostly a foundation that's on the ground, although in reality I've seen some houses that have this problem. Usually it's from years and years of water flowing underneath them. Eventually the erosion just gets too much. But in this game there's really no reason for it. He has a resource gathering station. Didn't bother with double walling, which is fine. Floor tile is a standard floor tile, although he's probably got others at this point. But hey, why bother doing anything for aesthetics? And yeah, here we go. He has one bed that is a swing and a few things of water, which never made any sense to me to do that either. Fireplace, food, place for regular water, place for his ally to spawn, and
Nice to see another
the reason
visitor
why
around
I
here.
say that doesn't make any sense. If you're actually going to build a house and make it look cool, one of these is pretty cool for, you know, your kitchen or your garage or wherever you're going to stick it at, as long as it fits in. But like this place, he literally built his thing, or his flooring up around the resource extractor to protect it, and he has this big generator here. He could have done the same thing with water purifiers, by the way, and just stuck a couple water purifiers over here where he's put this at. That had the same exact effect as that, with the water purifiers sticking to the ground, and he didn't need those things. But hey, to each their own. Everybody has their preferences. I mean, he even ran power up here on top of this thing to get power around the building so his lights would work. But then instead of putting up real turrets that require power, that are actually beneficial, he's got these little boogers, which, although not bad, are not the best turrets in the game if you're going to actually defend your house. I mean, the laser turret is by far better. It does require power. He has plenty of power from that 100 watt generator there. So I don't know. It's just, I have the same problem with people building in the middle of the road. He does have a shelter down. He has spent money in the atomic shop, obviously, because he has, you know, this set. And I'm hoping this is just like a camp that he has put down and that he is working on currently, or that he is just using for resource extraction, because this is a horrible camp. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a... Well, I can't give it any lower than a 2. He built it, it works fine for what it
I
is,
just can't shake these
but it
nightmares.
also is kind of shit.
Floating in space.
It's
forever.
not a dumpster fire, so it's not horrible enough to be a number 1, but it is pretty damn bad in and of itself. And the fact that my fast travel wouldn't let me actually pay to come here, and it was 1 cap away, because this is where we started off at, over here at Colombo Gaming. This is where we're at 1 Wastelander Plus's camp. I mean, either the fast travel system is bugged, which is likely in this game as anything else, or it's just... Actually, that's probably it. The game is probably bugged, because this game is like a bug farm. Alright, we'll go to Tiny Sparrow's camp, and that'll be the last one for the day. That thing is so close to being a dumpster fire, though. I mean, all it would take is, like, you know, a few less walls. But it's also one of those camps that if, like, the person decided to go back in and fix it up, they could make a really nice looking home out of it. But they suffer from the same problem that everybody does in this game. They make houses that are too big for what they're building. They don't need all of that. Okay, this is going to be a rare twofer, because we've got a camp here, and we've got a camp here. And this is the camp that we're going to review. Tiny Sparrow's camp. And it is right here. It is... Let's go up here a little bit, because we can actually get a decent view of this from the overside. Now, you see, we got a house. It's made out of the log cabin kit, mainly. That's what the green roof and those log walls are made from. He has his power up on his roof, which is kind of screwy, but we'll leave that alone. He has a gantry crane to get up to his roof, which, again, is kind of screwy, but we'll leave that alone. We'll go ahead and check the interior here. He has varied floor tiles. See, we've got the exterior green grass, you know, AstroTurf looking stuff. Then you come in here and you got the red shag carpet, supposedly, that kind of looks like somebody pooped all over your floor and just ground it in. And then you've got the blue variety of the said same carpet. You got the little follower, that's the little girl, and her toy box, which is cool, but not great.
I
This
brushed
camp
and
again is
flossed
set up
today.
to
It's important to
gather
build good
materials,
habits,
if I remember
even
right.
when
There's
you
a
aren't
lead
feeling
extractor or a
super.
steel extractor somewhere around here. Yeah, it's probably in here, this vaulted door, which I'm not even going to bother opening, because why bother? I can't imagine that it's too impressive in there. He has turrets positioned to deal with the random ghouls that show up, because you are next to Sutton, and Sutton does have random spawns all around it. You're also next to New River Gorge, and things will wander found from there as well. He has a apparently got, or they, I'm not sure, he, they, she, them, whatever. They obviously also have their vault out, and they didn't really bother to integrate it into the appearance of the building other than to say, hey, look, there's a door here on a wall with a window. It's a door. I would have just put it over here so at least it looked like it was going into something. But that's me. That's a design choice. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one a good solid 4, because at least it is an attempt at building something cool. Now this one up here above us isn't even on the map. It isn't even showing up, which means they don't have any vendors active. And we're going to go take a quick peek because, well, it's here, and as you can tell, I'm an asshole. And I'm going to go take a look at it because, well, it's here and I can see it, and it actually is probably one of the cooler looking things I've seen for a while. So,
You ever get a
alright,
melody
they have a
stuck in your
platform
head?
here which they started off
One
from.
day,
They built it up
I'm gonna write
into
a
the
song that
tree and
does
try and
that.
build a tree house. Kind of like I showed you at the beginning, this is basically a floating camp based off of this one ladder right here. They have these water purifiers up here.
What is this?
Now I just told you these don't make a lot of sense in a camp where you have access to the ground. But because this one is floating, it makes a little bit more sense that it would be there. This, however, does not, because how many vaults do you know that magically appear out of the air? That being said, this up here is actually kind of cool. They've gone to the trouble of changing tile colors for their flooring and trying to make it look like they are designing out rooms and laying things out. They also have my favorite hippie. God, I hate that woman. Anyway, she is the worst one. She is the last one that I found out of the normal allies that you can find in the game, and she was the hardest one for me to find in general. All the rest of them were relatively easy. That's part of the reason why I hate her, by the way, because she made me work to find her, and then she's really not worth having. But you have a decent view. You have a really decent view, actually. I'm kind of impressed by the view. They've gone to the trouble of putting their power up here on the roof so they can get it to distribute down through the building relatively easy. This is what I was talking about earlier with powered turrets that actually do a job that are better than those kind of crappy generic turrets, which he did still use downstairs. Mainly, I'm guessing,
something else.
because he didn't want to run power or fight with getting power down here to these. Or he might have placed these first and just not wanted to recycle them because, you know, materials being materials in this game. And they do a job. They're not bad, but powered turrets do a much better job. They usually have a better range, better sensitivity. That being said, he does have some foundations that are magically still here, which I'm guessing indicate that he was either planning on building something extra or using these to get other things to merge in place up top, which is, again, not bad. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one a 5. Why did I give it a 5 whenever it has some of the same problems that the other one does, and still is not quite as good as the one we were just at? Well, that's because this one requires a lot more skill to do than that one down there. That one down there, not so much. This one requires a certain level of creativity that I'm going to award points for, because creativity in this game especially should be rewarded. Now, I'm not sure whose camp this is. They don't have a vendor, and I'm not going to change out my HUD just so I can check some
like
of their
to join
items
my
with their name.
scavenger hunt?
But whoever you
Today
are,
we're
good
gathering
work.
unstable nuclear waste.
Continue on your way and
I smell
make improvements
scrap.
as you go. Good luck.
Well, not literally.
And everyone that's out there playing this game, by all means, enjoy it, have as much fun as you can with it, because Bethesda's definitely not gonna do much to improve it to actually make it a good game in the next couple of years, because they don't intend to. They'll add another event and if you're lucky, maybe another quest to the pit, but this is it. Yep. This is really it. God, I had such high hopes for this. Anyway, you have a good time, and I will talk at you guys again next time.